The man is blind in what? There is no compassion. No single compassion. Nobody is moved by the plight of this man. All you think about is Iran. You think about Shia. What nonsense? What planet are you living on? What planet are you living on? Blacks are to blame. Your so-called Nigerians are to blame for this very mess. So also is the American ambassador to Nigeria. So also is the British High Commissioner to Nigeria. These are the people supporting evil. When Obama came to remove Jonathan, I told you that Obama would remove Jonathan, and Jonathan was moved. Look at where we are today. People will come into my village with AK-47, rape my mother, slaughter us, and they give them land. Somebody is simply protesting, release my leader. Not that they are protesting against any court order or court ruling or judgment. They are asking you to obey what your court said. You refused. You responded by killing them. And you went back to the same court, the same federal high court of Nigeria, in the same Abuja, to go and obtain an order prescribing his group. The same law, the same judgment you said you will not obey. You are now going back to obey the one that suits you. And you're telling me that Nigeria is a nation, that Nigeria is a country? This black people. Do you not begin to see the reason why God looked at us and said, you people are evil? Because of that, I'll make you slaves to whites. Do you see why we are suffering? Because your heart is evil. You don't reason properly. These are people who can... Because Yoruba media wants 2023 for Tinubu to be president, they condone every evil. And if Yoruba nation does not take time, I tell you tonight that evil shall overcome Yoruba land. With justification. I will read the coverage of Punch newspaper. Punch newspaper, Yoruba paper. You people are satanic. You are evil, the personification of the forces of darkness. You people are evil. Evil. Evil is happening and you keep quiet. You cannot confront Fulani headsmen. Oh, Chineke. I don't know why God brought me to Africa. I don't know why. I should have come as a tree in the forest. Maybe they cut me down and use me as for center table. I'll be useful at least. Do you see why God said you must be under Europeans? Asia is progressing. South America is progressing. The only place not growing in the world is Africa because you people are evil. You support evil. Your heart is black as we are. Evil, darkness. What you telling? You are in a country where your so-called president from Sudan decides which judge am I going to obey. I don't like this ruling, I want to obey it. I like this one, let me obey it. And you people are keeping quiet. You are quiet and evil is happening. And you're telling me you're educated. You're telling me you have conscience. And tomorrow you go to church. Oh, dear me. This assignment is too much. I tell Elohim is too much for me. I cannot come from a continent where people cannot reason, where there is no conscience, where wickedness and evil is the order of the day. The black race is a disgrace to humanity. The black race is an eyesore on this very earth, I tell you that. It's an eyesore. You don't join them, but evil is happening and you're quiet. Because Zagzag is not your brother, not your sister. Do you know how people feel about your religion? Do you know how they feel about you and your religion? People, we don't deserve to be alive. Black people do not deserve to walk this. We are a stain on the earth. Our wickedness stinks to high heavens and back. We are an evil race. Quote me, that's what I said. Mark the date of today. In any other country on this earth, what Jibril did, we sent him back to Sudan immediately. How can you decide which judge to obey? That idiot that didn't go to school. Malami is saying, if not for what I've been doing, detaining people without trial, there will be no Nigeria. Nigeria for whose benefit? For your benefit and for some Yoruba people. For the benefit of those that make billions from oil and gas from Biafra land. That's all. That some idiots are too blind to see it. They say I should speak like a head of state. Which stupid head of state is that? Which useless head of state is that? In a place where people cannot reason like human beings. You're not the head of state. Oh dear Lord, have mercy. We are an evil race. Anytime you see another black person being killed in America, know that God is punishing you for what you have done because you're evil. Evil beyond evil, I'm telling you. And who brought this nonsense on us? It's not Obama. It's not a black man. Who brought this mess into this thing? It's Obama. Isn't it? And they ran to the British to sustain what is unsustainable. Everybody knows that Buhari is dead. They know it. Everybody knows. Yoruba media knows. Everybody knows. That because you don't want Nnamdi Kanu to be proven right, you don't want IPOP to be proven right, you have decided to corrupt people. It will consume you. Yoruba media will suffer. Yoruba media will suffer. They will suffer and they will suffer. For this injustice, they keep on against ordinary people. Poor people. You know your name, I want it. Because you control newspaper. Your preachers are in Pentecostal churches. They tell the idiots what to do and they obey them. They cannot rise up from the pulpit and speak the truth. Because Isaac is not a Christian, he's not a Pentecostalist. Let's leave him to die. Grace is a disgrace on humanity. White people can never allow such nonsense to happen. It doesn't. Instead, everybody will die. They can't allow it. That's the difference between your and whites. Whites cannot allow this nonsense to happen. It won't happen. Don't tell me about cases during slavery. It was our idiotic ignorance and wickedness that allowed God to hand us over to whites to enslave us. We are wicked. We are a wicked race. That is why we are suffering. Dara. I must continue because the truth must be spoken on this very platform. Your true constitution guarantees freedom. Freedom of worship, freedom of speech, the right to even protest is there. They don't obey their own laws because they don't know. When you appoint a chief justice who is more or less how can I put it? How can I say like a native doctor? This is nonsense you get. Now you're telling me in a country that claims it practices democracy that you can choose which of the judges to obey his or her ruling and which one to ignore. Is that what you're telling me? The same court you said I will not obey your order. You went back to the same court to come and obtain an order to keep somebody in prison in perpetuity and to ban his movement. Hey, we blacks have taken wickedness and impunity to a different level altogether. That is what we have done. We have redefined wickedness. I never believed in my life that Africa can be so, not just back, of course we're backwards. Who doesn't know we're backwards? We have added another layer of evil to it. No wonder Michael Jackson was pleasing himself to be white. I do apologize to Michael Jackson. I have now seen what he saw. Michael Jackson was trying to make himself white because he looked at us and knew that we are evil. It is evil upon evil. You claim you are fighting corruption. All those you are appointed are corrupt individuals. Today, Buhari's son is the fourth richest person in Africa. And the fighting corruption. You people are useless. Hopeless to the core. Put me right is what I said. You're hopeless. Shia group IMN, Islamic Movement of Nigeria, or for Nigeria, I don't know what to call them, is not a terrorist group. It is not and can never be. For all that nonsense, people saying that tied to Iran and all that rubbish, that is bunkum. El Zagzagi, what crime did he commit? We shall get to that later. There is no other place on this earth a religious body has ever been prescribed. Never. Not on this earth. All this nonsense with Shia and the Sunni Islam is their business. Nothing to do with the secular constitution. So when Jubril and when About Biafra and El Rufai crosses up to Saudi Arabia, don't you see it? When Obama was bowing before the king of Saudi Arabia, did you not see it? Did not see it. I'm sure you didn't. You people are cowards. There is no place on this earth, not even in Saudi Arabia, can you ban. Do you know they have Shia in Saudi Arabia? Have they been banned? How can you go and take a leader of a movement and you expect them to keep quiet? Like other people are keeping quiet. That's what you expect. You bring your wickedness and injustice upon the people and you expect them to just sit down and take it. The answer is no. Like IPOB won't take it. We'll keep on agitating until we are free. Because one day everybody will die, isn't it? Nobody lives forever. Nobody does. So Biafra must come. The blame for what is happening, I don't call it Zagzagi. The blame for the injustice in the zoo that the British created is caused by 3 groups of people. Only 3. Our stupidity as black people. The British High Commission and the British Mission in Nigeria is satanic. Another one is the American ambassador to Nigeria. They collect money from Nigerian government not to send. America does not know what is happening in the zoo because they embellish it. Is farmer-header crisis is a clash. The police and the army came shooting dead Shia protesters. And you call it a clash between the two. The whole ambassador, American ambassador, is sending back, feeding the State Department in Washington lies about Nigeria. Because they gave him he's a millionaire. The same thing with the British. This is the level of evil and wickedness we have. American embassy in Nigeria, British High Commission in Nigeria, and the stupidity of black people. We are black and we are useless. Those are the 3 factors holding you down as a perpetual slave. I didn't say it's the American official policy or the British official policy. No. I said their missions in Nigeria. The American ambassador is corrupt. The British High Commissioner is more than corrupt. Nigeria, they should be probed. Nigeria gives them money to lie and to falsify their mission reports back to their home countries. If you ask them now, they'll write. When you ask them, what happened about El Zagzagi? No, I think we sent some trouble. There may be a link with Iran. There may be a link. All lies. All lies. The U.S. Embassy takes the blame. The British High Commission and the stupidity of us black people, black Africans, we are useless. Stop pretending we are more than hopeless. Forget all the degrees, PhD, SSG, rubbish. We are useless. Useless. As black people, our natural disposition towards evil, we love evil. This type of nonsense cannot happen in a white man. It's impossible. You can't even try that rubbish. I'm the prime minister, or as Trump is, you choose which laws to obey, which one. They will come to White House and control you out. He said they will bundle you, they will put hands you see how advanced whites are compared to you blacks? Because, when you go to the court sometimes, some of you see the picture of a woman or statue. The woman is blind with a blindfold, with the scale on one hand and sword on the other hand. Some of you go to law school, you don't know what that thing means. They say law is blind. And look at the idiots. Do you know why they say it's blind? Because justice is blind. It doesn't matter who is affected. It doesn't matter if it's a share or IPOP or whoever. It doesn't matter. The law is the law. So when somebody who is a Sunna Muslim gets favorable ruling in the court, they release them. Those doing the killing in the zoo, they are all Sunna, Wahhabi, fundamentalists. It's okay. Give them more land. Why don't you dialogue with them? But once is Shia, or once is IPOB, why don't you can kill them? After all, the American ambassador will say it's nothing. And that's what they do. Do you know before they came to invade my house that the British government was informed? And they came to go ahead to come and kill me? Are you aware of that? So I'm telling you live on air. Are you aware that the British government, the British High Commission in Nigeria, sanctioned my assassination? Are you aware of that? In time, all will be revealed. Our natural disposition towards evil and wickedness is why a Sudanese can do whatever he likes. Everybody knows he's from Sudan. Look at him and look at the Buhari, and you will know that your stupidity and your natural cowardice. You are a black person, you cannot reason. This Yogi, black and useless. Black and useless. We are black and we are useless to the core. If you support evil, anything I say about you, you should accept it with good grace. I'm telling you. How did it all begin? Some of you may ask this evening. How did we come to this stage of rejecting one judgment but accepting another from the same court, depending on the judge who is ruling in your favor? 7 out of 8 children of Zagzagi have been murdered by the Nigerian state. Somebody not making any sense, that person is probably a black person. According to my dear friend and brother, I'm borrowing what he wrote because it's correct. Fanika Yode. I'm borrowing what he wrote. You shot his wife in the stomach. The wife was shot 4 times and has been in detention until now. Not just like that, even the wife is also in detention. This man was shot and blinded in one eye. It doesn't touch you. Your heart is cold. Cold and blind to light. Because you're black from Africa. You are evil. You don't empathize. There is no empathy. You don't see. All you care about is, who is winning? So since the Fulanis are now killing everybody and they're on top, let me support Fulani. You have no soul and you have no conscience. That is why God placed you. I'm asking God, but what did I do? Why take me to Africa? I'm still thinking and asking God, what did I do? Because I am better off as maybe as something that could be useful to humanity. We blacks, we are not useful to mankind. We are a waste of space. We are clogging up space for mankind. I'm telling you the truth. We are useless. You did all this to this man, and you think you will succeed. What is the crime of Sheikh El Zagzagi? You bring out, he had the same thing you did when I found BSS. It's all, can you see them? Can you see them? But you cannot see funny headsmen. You can't see them. They're the ones killing you and raping you every day, but you never learn because you're black and you're timid. I'm so upset tonight. I wouldn't normally do a program like this, but I am enraged. Enraged. Africa is a disgrace. Trump was said he was going to, he's going to deport people from America. He should start very, very quickly. And he also in the zoo. And their families should be barred from traveling to the USA. And their children, excuse me, should be deported from America, all of them. They all should be deported back to come and face the consequences of the destruction their parents have brought on ordinary people. Who are the ones that it's not the vice chancellors with PhD, emeritus professor, rubbish. But they were there rigging election for thugs and illiterates. Trump should hurry and deport everybody. In fact, every nation should, myself included. I don't exclude myself. We don't deserve anything good. We Africans are a disgrace to humanity. Big disgrace. We must remember that there was a time when Goodluck Jonathan was stoned when he went to campaign in the north. Did Jonathan open fire on the people? Did Jonathan ask anybody to open fire on the protesters? They burnt his posters, his billboards in the north. Did he open fire? If you're in the south, they will open fire to people. And you have one idiot who probably doesn't know his father. Somewhere either in Lagos or in Abuja writing, oh, but they shouldn't have stopped him. Do you know what is a protest? It is a right you have in the Constitution. And they tell you, oh, where one person's right stops, another one begins. That's time to talk about law and morality. Where one person's right ends, another one starts. Some rubbish like that. Allow Nigeria to fight for itself based on its laws. You are in your office somewhere in Abuja saying, what I'm doing here, by breaking the law, which is what the telling else that it means, by breaking the law, somehow you're keeping Nigeria one. And I remind my Yoruba brothers, have you seen what you have done? Because you have condoned and served the Fulanis for so long. You have strengthened them. Now, they personify impunity. And that impunity will consume you. What else will happen in Yoruba race? Your journalists are independent change. Everybody will go down with them. Jonathan, on the 21st of January 2015, went to the north. Nothing happened to those that stoned him and burnt his effigy and his billboards. Jonathan did not retaliate. I was in detention in Kuje. Not in Kuje, sorry. At the DSS dungeon in Abuja. December 2015, when I received the message that they have massacred people in the north. I asked them, why were they massacred? They said, because Buratai was attending, wanted to go and see the emir of Zaria, if I recall very, very well. And his motorcade was blocked. He's an ordinary army chap, but he has a motorcade up to 50 vehicles long. That's Africa for you. Primitive idiots everywhere. His motorcade was blocked, and because of that, thousands were mowed down. Some of you saw only 2 days ago the motorcade of Boris Johnson, the new British Prime Minister, was blockaded. Nothing, before they ran away, they took another route and ran away. In Nigeria, you come out with soldiers, you have not even defeated Boko Haram. All your so-called insurgency and your brothers killing everybody everywhere, you have not been able to stop them. But ordinary people protesting, saying what is happening is not good, you open fire on them. And that makes you a general. Do you see why we Africans are fools? We always celebrate evil. And that is why evil is following us all over the place. And we keep wondering, why are we not developed? I traveled to Asia. They have like your stupidity is the reason why. But you won't see it. Because you're so helpless, you cannot see your own stupidity. We blacks are useless, I'm telling you. But today they have declared Shia movement a terrorist group because they don't like what they're doing. Release their leader according to court pronouncement yourself. Unbelievable. This is according to Yoruba newspaper. Punch. How they reported it. The Federal High Court in Abuja on Friday ordered the proscription of Shia movement as protest by the Islamic organization Rocks Abuja. A newspaper without soul or conscience is a Yoruba paper. No soul, no. They can never tell you. They can never write in the editorial and say to the government, what you're doing is wrong. Obey court order. No. Tinubu wants to be president in 2023, so why bother? Their project now is our turn. No? Let's put Yoruba man there. Now we have reached an agreement. Oh, if Fulani rule small, Yoruba will rule small. That's what they're saying. And some idiots in the so-called Niger Delta will be talking rubbish every day. After thinking, put it they'll be talking nonsense. Let's continue. Saturday Punch reports that Justice Ngonye Maha, whatever, have you heard of the name Maha before? The person's name is Ngonye Maha, whatever that means. Because they know if they go to their favorite, what the favorite is Kafarati, and complain, they go to this one now, Ngonye Maha. I've never heard of such useless name before. Who answers Maha from Igbo land? Maha, Ngonye Maha. What is the meaning of Maha? These are the idiots that converted to Islam in order to be able to get one or two contracts so they can come back to the village and answer to an affluent man. They said he issued the order in a ruling in which she also designated the activities of the Shia organization in any part of Nigeria as acts of terrorism and illegality. Illegality. But I'm asking a question. What legality is the government standing on not to obey a court order before yours? Why should the government obey your own order you have issued but ignore the order of another judge? And she's learned though. Ngonye Maha. What about stupid name means? The court went further to restrain any person or group of persons under the platform in Nigeria. In other words, they should no longer protest. So instead of you to ask why are people protesting or make laws to mitigate against such protests in the future, if it is truly against the law, you quietly prescribe them and tag them terrorists. You see how the brain of a black person works. And you want me to respect you. You want me to have regard for you. But now it's not possible. It's not going to be done that way. Impossible. Her name is Justice Maha. Wherever she comes from, I don't know. I don't know her name. M-A-H-A. I keep asking. Does anybody answer Maha anywhere you come from? Maha. M-A-H-A. Maha. Ngonye Maha. Unbelievable. This is a report by Yoruba newspaper. Let me go to the part that is quite interesting. They reported it. That's what. When they are killing people, they don't report it. They say it's a clash between army and protesters. Clash. I see protesters have AK-47. Do protesters have AK-47? Just says no. El Zagzagi and the wife have been in custody since heaven knows, since 2015. The Obama went on to write about the affidavit, what happened and everything. I don't hate Yoruba race. My good friends are from there, very close friends, I hasten to add. But if I see evil, I say it. If I see injustice, I fight it. The Yoruba media, we are where we are today because of you. This same Yoruba media fought Abacha, you know. To stand still. And Abacha was more ruthless. It's a dictatorship. All of a sudden, because of the promise of presidency, they have jettisoned every moral ground, every value they had. Because it's their turn to loot in 2023. Yoruba media. Yoruba media. Yoruba media. Okay. Do you know, let me tell you, this is the part that got me very upset. It says, this is according to the court, what this man and woman wrote. See, I said earlier that people, we blacks, are who we are. Listen to what she wrote. This is the judge that prescribed Shia. She said, the violent and aggressive activities of the members of the respondent, which is Shia group, under the guise of clamoring for the release of their leader, have not only heightened tension and insecurity in the country, but it is also earning the country negative rating globally. Shia protest is earning you negative ratings, not Fulani headmen, not the so-called bandits, not the corruption in the country, not you rigging election. Hey, this is from a high court judge in Nigeria. She went on to write, both the US and UK governments have already issued travel warnings on Nigeria on account of these violent protests. Is that true? Hey, they issued warnings because of Fulani, you people, what you're doing. Fulani headsmen, Fulani terrorists, all the way from Asorok. Fulani terrorists is the reason why warnings were issued, not here. And look at the way a Yoruba people reported it. As if it is true. This is the pronouncement of a judge in a court of law in the 21st century. Hey, I will continue. It recalled that before the July 27, 2019 incident, the group's members in a violent protest on July 9, 2019, while trying to force their way into National Assembly complex, come to London and see what protest is. Some people are camped outside the Parliament in London, House of Commons and Lords. Filthy looking. Go and touch them and you see what the law will do to you. Do you see? And then when I'm sure this Maha, whatever she's called, went to school in America, or she will not tell you I'm Harvard Law or Yale or Stanford Law. And I'll be a tornado. There is nothing Harvard or Stanford or Cambridge or Oxford about we blacks. Look at his or her judgment and condemn an entire country and uphold the right of one single person. But here is because Madam Masorok wants to call you. It's your turn now to issue that what's it called? Expert motion. Or to hear it. That is why when I saw somebody said in London a few years ago that when somebody says he's a professor and he's black, he will first of all slap him. Because it's meaningless. A black professor is useless. They can't do anything. Just like with a judge. This is what somebody wrote that went to school. Lies upon lies. You were stopped from going to America because of your fraudulent election. Simple and short. You're blaming it on Shia. Travel warnings everywhere because of the kidnappings of Fulani headsmen. Fulani. Not because of Shia. But you're not about it as if it's true. Oh, dear me. Tomorrow there's a of how can I hate Europe? All my best friends are from there, but I have to tell them the truth. The same way I'm telling the truth about us black people. I want to let you know tonight that God in heaven looked at the hearts of men and realized that in Africa, Africa is wicked, very, very wicked, I'm telling you. That's why I said you people will come last. You will be slaves to other nations. They will trample upon you because you are evil and you are wicked. They said that a judge wrote, in July 27, 2007, the group murdered a Sunni cleric in Sokoto. They have come. It's a battle between Sunna and the Shia that they brought to the zoo with a British High Commissioner cheering from the side and American ambassador. They are getting their money every month. Every month they get their money. So it doesn't matter how many of you end up being slaughtered. Right and say it's a minor class. You know, this is access to water for the livestock. They need to drink water. The Nama need to drink water. You know, it's access to God of wretched, hopeless, ignorant, wicked Africans like us. And tomorrow you complain. Tomorrow you complain. You know, when they kill a black person in America, you start complaining. But when they kill in your village, you are clapping for Buratai and his troops. They have not won any war outside. They lost in Bakassi. They won't take them off, they ran back. They have never served with distinction in any theater in the whole world. But they keep promoting them to general. Unbelievable. The stupid woman went on to write a whole load of rubbish, which the Punch newspaper gobbled up without asking a simple question. What is it exactly that Zagzagi did that you killed his 7 children? What is it that Zagzagi did that you locked him up? Somebody said, I probably shouldn't get involved because you're a fool. If you say I probably should, that means you're a fool and you're not IPOB. We can never support injustice. Impossible. It can never happen. The Biafra we are building, there will be no injustice. None whatsoever. That you may know. That Chukwukikadwan is with us. We don't believe in evil. So El Zagzagi should then die. And the day they announce his death, like Leah Shuaibu, you write R.I.P. Oh, may she rest well with Jesus in heaven. Jesus is on the right hand side of God. Leah Shuaibu will be on the left. You see how stupid you are? You see how hopeless you are? Can you imagine if Leah Shuaibu had died under Jonathan? What will happen? Oh, Biafra will be everywhere. Everybody will be complaining. Are you complaining now? Are you complaining now? They moved heaven and earth to do their deal with their Chiboko girls. But this girl is dead, killed, rest in peace. You brought out her picture and you wrote R.I.P. Facebook that a white man invented. All we do is we consume. And sometimes we consume even ignorance. Some believe it. Give the message raw, the way it comes. Even those of them that say they are prophets, have they been able to predict anything before? What we tell you here, it will happen. And I'm born here, supposed to. You see, with your two eyes, you see it. The level of injustice is too much. I'll go on to also analyze what my deputy, our deputy leader said, HMF4. And I agree with him totally. He said, the real terrorists are in Asorok. The real terrorists are Mieti Allah and their patron. Everybody who is a patron of Mieti Allah should be arrested. And I have instructed our lawyers. We are going to write to USA State Department. We are going to list out all the patrons of Mieti Allah. And that includes Jonathan. And we will be arguing very forcefully why they should be denied visa to America. Jonathan included. He's a patron of Mieti Allah. Mieti Allah is a terrorist group. Anybody who is their patron should also be regarded as a terrorist. They should. The Fulani headsmen that you have killing and rampaging through our towns and villages, and now it was Yoruba that banned them bandits. Oh, don't stigmatize the Fulani race. Including Koka, that man, they say in Sokoto. Koka, Roman Catholic Archbishop inside the desert in Sokoto. And what I think he's suffering from sunstroke in the brain. His brain is not quite correct. Stigmatize the whole of Biafra by prescribing IPOB. You are not stigmatizing every Shia in Nigeria. You banned a religion. It's simple unheard of before. Some of you are clapping because you are black, you are evil, you are wicked, and you are ignorant. And on top of that, you are cowards. You can't confront evil, can you? But we do here every blessed day. The real terrorist Mark Ban, Mazi Nnamdi Cattle Breeders Association is the fourth most deadly terror group in the world. No court has prescribed them. The more they kill, the more land they give them. The more they settle them with your money. That should I say, with the money comes from Biafra land. The more Europeans are waiting for Tinubu to enter office in 2023. Hey, this is black people. Anyway, you're not black for nothing. You know one thing about, I told you, my son Emeka wants to study, what's it called again? Is it astrophysics? Astrophysics. Well, because of that, I got interested in the cosmos, in heavenly and stellar bodies. And I started reading about black holes and all the rest of it. And the funny thing is that these black holes, they're very massive, they're very powerful, they're very strong. They inhabit the center of every galaxy in the universe. And you know what they do? They conceive, they don't give anything back in return. And they're black. Do you see how funny it is? Oh dear, the biggest object gives nothing back in return. Just think about it. Or Google it and read up after this program. That may help you understand the state of black people. We are evil, honestly. A very wicked race. Arguably the most wicked race on earth is black. Very wicked. And you can say it is because of colonialism, Britain came and gave us the wickedness, yes. But we now modified it to suit our black nature. When you see something white, you say it's black. When it's black, you say it's white. And you studied at Oxford or Cambridge Law or Harvard or Princeton. This UG, black, unbeliever. Check him out, never. The U.S. State Department must designate Mazi Nnamdi as a terrorist group. And the sooner that happens, the better for everybody. We are not only escaping ignorance, poverty, disease, and deprivation in the zoo. Now you understand why I said to you that Biafra means something more to us. Biafra is here to bring light where once there was darkness. Or where there is darkness. Because we're still fighting. We are the light. Not just of Africa, but of the entire black race. During my tour of the U.S., I said I will fight this very battle to its logical conclusion. And the reason why things are the way they are is because most of those that lead you in the zoo, most of your judges, most of your police commissioners, most of those they promote in the judiciary and also in the military, their loyalty or their rise in power to Fulani patronage. And that is why impunity upon impunity is multiplying on a daily basis and nobody's doing anything about it. But we can do something about it. We can bring this impunity to an end. And we can do it collectively. I welcome the bold initiative from the leaders of the Middle Belt to disassociate themselves from the Fulani core north. We welcome that. And I would like especially to commend the leader of the Middle Belt Forum for standing up to those blood-sucking demons from the north, and Abdullahi and co. If the Middle Belt is serious about wanting their freedom, then we will work with them. to ensure that everybody is free. Only if they are serious. If they are serious, we'll work with them to freedom. I've said it before, our fight is not about oil or gas. Our fight is about freedom. When Biafra comes, oil and gas will be handed over to United Nations Security Council. Constituted Nigeria to let them know that I don't need oil and gas to survive. Our brain is there. The greatest natural resource you can think of as a human being is your brain, not what is inside the ground, so that they have that in mind. During my tour of the USA, I did speak about making our people in America contribute towards this very effort. Some journalists called us yesterday and were crying. One of them said a piece of land, my brother is in the US, a piece of land he bought has now been occupied by Fulani headsmen. And everybody's looking up to IPOB to do something about it. And my response was very simple. So is IPOB looking up to those of them in America to support this very effort financially. They must support what we are also doing. And how are they going to do that? Our people in the Americas, if you have a brother, sister, uncle, aunt, no matter who they are, tell them that they are going to contribute $1 each. And this dollar they are going to contribute, it took us time to come up with this very idea to fundraise for our people. The $1 I asked everybody to contribute in America every month is not actually going to come from your pocket. It is going to come from Uncle Sam, which is the Inland Revenue Service of America, because it is tax deductible. What it means is that if you contribute $1 if you're in America and you're working, and you contribute $1 every month, which is $12 a year, it will go a long way. And it is also tax deductible, which means you will get it back from the taxman. When you're filing your tax returns, you will be able to get that dollar back. So anybody who refuses to contribute towards this very effort, you know that the person wants those at home to die. That's all. It will defy not just logic and common sense, but it will take. It's not your money, but we're asking you to use your name to donate it to Biafra Aid Foundation in America. Understand me very well. The Biafra Aid Foundation has been set up as what the Americans called a 501c3 account at the Chase Bank in America. 501c3 means that every dime and nickel you donate is subject to tax write-off at the end of the year. In other words, at the end of the year, American government will say, oh, my dear brother or sister, I can see you contributed within this past year $12 only, or $12 every month to Biafra Aid Foundation. We are going to write it off. We will give you back the same $12 you contributed, and then we'll now assess your income tax or whatever tax that you pay in America. So what we're asking you to do is to, instead of campaigning for reparation for slavery, you can get $1 each and every Biafran or somebody from Middle Belt, or Yoruba for that matter, that wants to be free, because only IPOB that can do it. Only IPOB can set you free. Nobody else can. I say it with every ounce of conviction. Only IPOB. You can contribute only $1 a month, and it is subject to tax write-off, which means when you're paying your tax, they will disregard it. They will say, you contributed this, we're giving it back to you, now we assess your account. You're not losing anything. So if your uncle, of course, some will come up with excuses to tell us why they will not be part of it, as they normally do. They'll find an excuse. Hey, it's not done like that. No, you know me, I do my research very well. You are going to contribute only $12 every year, and that $12 is subject to tax write-off. It is tax deductible. When it comes to this now, they claim they don't understand the grammar anymore. But ordinarily, though, you see them playing big grammar. It is tax deductible. In other words, we are taking this money from Mr. Trump and IRS in America, not from you. But we're only using your name to collect it. What you're doing, in essence, is taking $1 every month from America to give to Biafra. It's legal. You can also use, I want it to be written down everywhere this evening and circulated appropriately. I want it written down and circulated. It is bia67foundation@gmail.com. As I'm making this announcement, I want our dear sister and Nana to begin to circulate this information immediately. Those of them who are in the USA manning this very account to start doing so immediately. BIA67 Foundation is BIA67 then Foundation, which is FOUNDATION. They won't allow us to use anything else, so we're using Gmail for this. BIA67foundation@gmail.com. It is called Quick Pay by Zeal, or Zelle or whatever. It's ZELLE. Those of them in America will know it. You can also send interbank transfer using the routing, they call it route, but in the UK it's called route. The routing and account number is, the routing number or routing number, they say in America, is 515-216-791. I repeat, 515-216-791. That is the routing number. Maybe it's some sort of short code for them. And then the account number itself is 072000326. I repeat, account number of this Chase Bank for Bia Foundation is 072000326. And the routing number or routing number is 515-216-791. I want these details provided to our mothers in America. And IPOB women in America is exceptionally strong, very formidable indeed. I want these details to be made available to every community, every association, every group, every individual in America, so that we know those to deport from Biafran Airport as soon as Biafra comes. You know, before I said we deport people if they don't contribute towards this very struggle. Now we may even have to detain some people before we deport them back. For us, you can set up a direct debit, which they call a reoccurring contribution, so that every month, only $1. We're not asking, please don't contribute $5. No, don't. One only is enough. So that we can get this very job done and sweep away the janjaweed from the north. Again, it is what they call 501c3 account. Which means that every money you contribute, the taxman, Uncle Sam, as they say in America, will write it off. On a day when the injustice being meted out to El Zagzagi and the Shia is dominating our minds and our thoughts, I shouldn't be talking about fundraising. But we need to raise funds to continue to do the work that we are doing. And it's yielding fruit, I assure you, quite a lot. And there are a few issues I also like to clear up live on air, especially the responsibility of our people. In Houston, Texas, people should please listen very carefully. This is for IPOB, principal officers or servants, as they call them in the USA. When I attended the town hall meeting in Houston, I made it very, very clear that those zones I created, their coordinators are supreme, There is no greater Houston gathering of IPOB. None. I did not set up one, and there will not be any. No greater Houston. What we have is Sugarland, Missouri, and all those places, and one coordinator for each of those places. And they're called zones. The coordinators reign supreme there. All of you now answer to the state coordinator direct, to the Texas State IPOB coordinator. Our mobilization team must also do their work and must be given access to every state to make sure that more families are being treated on a daily basis. In IPOB, we live or die based on our disciplined structure. Without structure, we are nothing. We don't want to be like the zoo, where if you don't like one aspect of the law, you start rebelling and deciding which judge to accept his or her ruling or not. In IPOB, we are disciplined, and that is how Biafra is going to be. Everything ends insofar as the USA is concerned, as the office of the USA National Coordinator. He remains the number one citizen insofar as IPOB is concerned. Because if anything goes wrong, we hold him responsible. The same way that we will hold responsible any state coordinator that we find wanting or lacking in the discharge of their duties and responsibilities. I thank you all very much for listening. And my tour of Australia, New Zealand, and Japan is coming up. And I hope there are people in the Far East and Australia that they're geared up for this, because there's a lot of work to be done. I thank you all very much for listening. And I want you to put El Zagzagi and Dasuki in your prayers. Put them in your prayers. And we must continue to fight until everybody wrongfully incarcerated is set free. This is Radio Biafra. And from me, from here, this evening, it is good evening.
Radio Biafra remains the first, the best, and the last, dedicated to the ultimate restoration of Biafra, the land of the rising sun.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the surface of this very planet. We welcome you once again to an explosive on this very noble platform, this Radio Biafra, listened to unlike any other broadcaster nor media establishment out of Africa. We are across the entire 24 time zones of this very world. Everybody is listening from Japan to California, the west coast of the United States. People are listening from Iceland all the way to the Antarctica. In Australia, they are listening. In South America, they are listening. Across Asia, they are listening, because we are unstoppable. What we preach here is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. If you have joined us, you are immensely blessed. If you have joined us and you are brave enough to be listening, then know that you are one of those with a very strong constitution. Not the weaker ones, not those who sniper, those who go about gossiping, those who greed, envy, and jealousy. We have come here that darkness may flee and light will take its rightful position. And that light is what we represent. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you, because across the surface of this very earth, right now, this very second, with the time standing at precisely 6 minutes back, 7 p.m. in the blessed and the glorious land of Biafra. The whole world is listening. People have come that they may partake and participate in this very gospel of the restoration of the kingdom of heaven upon the face of this very earth. As I welcome you, I will encourage you to welcome other people. I know they will try all they can this evening as they have always done. In fact, I dare warn me that they will suppress the audience of my page, that they will continue to frustrate every effort I try to make. Broadcasting live from my page, ceaselessly preach the gospel that heaven has given me to preach. And that is the gospel of truth. That gospel will lead the children of the Most High God to go to out of the darkness that is the damnable zoological republic into the light and the promise of hope that is Biafra. That is why this evening, as always, we will preach this very gospel uncompromisingly. If you fail to understand us after listening to this broadcast this evening, then you know there is something definitely wrong with your brain cells. It needs resetting. But I do hope and pray that those of you who are brave enough, because only the brave can listen to what we preach here, those of you who are brave enough to have joined us, those of you who are not deterred by all the shenanigans that Facebook is obviously unleashing on my page, those of you who are strong enough to listen and to absorb these undiluted truth, I welcome you wholeheartedly, and it is my pleasure to always serve you up until Biafra restoration and beyond. My name is Nnamdi. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this very world that we inhabit. We are in over 100 countries and counting, because this is a mass movement that is unprecedented in the history of freedom fighting. That is why till this very day we remain the largest movement fighting for an independent homeland anywhere on this planet Earth. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the very indomitable IPOB, the one and only IPOB, an unstoppable machine, unstoppable, as we single our enemies towards that one destination, which is Biafra freedom. I am the director of Radio Biafra. I am the director of Biafra Television, but above all, the wonderful people of Biafra, I welcome you. You can listen to us via satellite. If you have My TV, you can get Radio Biafra Television and Radio Biafra on your My TV decoder. If you have My TV, you can be listening to me live via your television. We are on FM across Biafra land, and we are working to make sure we achieve 100% coverage across the entire length and breadth of Biafra land. We are on Radio Biafra app. A lot of you prefer to listen via app, and I know that some conscientious people are streaming this very broadcast live also on YouTube, on multiple channels. If you want to listen to what you can. Those of you who have the reason why I have continued to stream and broadcast via my page is to tell the Yoruba people working for Facebook that we are unstoppable. You cannot stop me. It no matter what you do, I will stream it. If you like, crack it, we have evidence. Like anytime I'm preaching, they crack my voice, they distort it, and when that fails, they cut me off. I will keep streaming on my page. There is nothing you can do about it. I am waiting for you to stop me so I can take you to court in America. I won't take you to court in the Zoom or in the UK. I will take you to court in America, where you people are in a lot of mess at the moment because you have been tampering with good people. That is why this evening we are going to preach this very gospel. But before we do so, we must pray to him. Somebody very kindly, through my younger brother, gave me something, a prayer point this evening, and I will pray this prayer. Maybe Chukwudi Gabriel has been waiting for me to pray this prayer before he will unleash even more damnation on this geological republic. Our mission is very simple. For those of you who are listening, you may think our job is just to maybe get Biafra and move on. No. My job goes beyond that. The job I have been elected to do is to restore Biafra. That is number one, by the grace of Almighty God in heaven. And number two, to make sure that the name Nigeria doesn't exist. It won't exist by the ask you to bring your pen and your paper with you. So every time I make a prediction or a prophetic pronouncement, behind this noble and sacred microphone, it must come to pass. That's why I ask you to bring your pen and your paper. So anything I say to you, you will note it down. You will write it down and make references in the future. Everything I say comes to pass. Everything I utter comes to pass. That is the only way that the Almighty in heaven can tell you that we are ordained to do this thing that we're doing. Nobody, there is no bishop, no prophet, no pastor, no reverend, nobody in the entire history of Africa has the same level of accuracy of prediction as I do have. No human being on the face of this earth, none whatsoever. I said none. That is why you find God everywhere, but I must pray to the Most High. Without whom we won't be here today. Without Elohim, we cannot be here. And we must pray. Biafra will be found. Biafra is a godly nation. A godly nation. The only kingdom in the history of mankind where no man was the king. The only kingdom, that was the history that Britain was hiding from you and I. That Biafra is the kingdom of God on this earth. No king, there was none. Israel asked for king, and they were given Saul. In Biafra land, there was none. It was a kingdom. As long as it was a kingdom, but they cannot see our king, because our king, you cannot see him. You can see his spirit. Oh, I have to pray. I don't want to get to the spirit if I preach this gospel because mere mortals cannot understand. They don't have the brain to understand what we preach. Biafra was a kingdom. When Yeshua prayed and said, "Let thy will be done on this very earth," he was referring to Biafra. That kingdom of God on this earth without a king. The chosen children of light that inhabit the center, the very center of this very earth. And unto thee, children and children, we give every glory and adoration. Mankind may testify in time to come that it wasn't man that did it, that they had no strength of their own, they had no army, they had no weapons. All they had was the gospel of truth and of redemption. And behold, because their hearts and their minds were clean, because the Almighty found them unblemished, that was why they were blessed. And everything they asked for came to pass. That was why this same generation, this very Ethiopia, shall endure, for flesh cannot be immortalized. But the truth of the Most High, who is timeless, who is ageless, shall prevail. And upon that very promise we pray this evening. Because your words are yea and amen. People wonder, how come you love David so much? Man couldn't understand that David knew how to act for anything that he wants. There was nothing that David ever asked for that he didn't give to him. That same secret is what we have. That is what we present before thee to the hearing of the entirety of humanity this very evening, morning, noon or night, depending on where you're listening from. That we make this proclamation that your words are yea and amen, because you are God. Anything you say must come to pass. You are not man. Anytime, any word that you utter, documented by the sons of men in the Torah, in the scriptures, must come to pass. Because your spirit, you are not man. You are not mortal. Every word you utter must come to pass. And on that very premise, do we anchor this very expression. Because we go back to your scriptures, to your unadulterated, untampered with scriptures. In the book of Jeremiah we pray, chapter 16, verse 14, that is our prayer this very evening from where I am. You said, for you are equated, Lord, Jews of my people describe thee. You are bigger than all that man can ever imagine that you are. Only you is the beginning of time itself. That is why the ancients call you the ancients of days. The ancients of the ancients. For that is who you are. The I am that I am. And these are your words because you are God. You said that a time is coming. According to the prophet Jeremiah, you said that a time is coming, and that time is now, this 2020. You said the time is coming when people will no longer swear by me as the living God who brought the house of Israel out of bondage in Egypt. These are your words because you are God. You said a time shall come when people will no longer swear that this God of Moses, that led the God of Moshe, that led the Israelites out of the bondage and suffering in Egypt. Instead, these are your words, O Heavenly Father, with every reverence, humility, and submission. You said, instead they will swear by me as the living God, because you are living, everlasting, eternal, who brought his people out of the northern lands, out of the bondage from the north, for we inhabit the south. We are from the southeast. Oh, Heavenly Father, you said, no longer will we remember you as the God of miracles that brought Israelites out of Egypt. We shall know thee as the God that delivered his children from the criminals and darkness from the north. These are your words. And we are talking about Biafra. We are now going to swear by thy name and say it is God of Biafra that led his children out of the iniquitous existence which Britain fabricated for your children. And you said we are going to return from where you scattered us, from where they are killing us in Indonesia. We are suffering, all the places where we are being humiliated at the moment. You said, I will bring you back to your own country, to the land that I gave your ancestors, because I am God and I have spoken. And who is man to say no to the word of God? Upon this we anchor all that we do. We have no strength of our own. Upon your promise that came forth from the mouth of the prophet Jeremiah 16:14, you said, I will deliver you from the bondage from the north. The world will no longer say, this God of Moshe that led the Israelites out of Egypt. They will say the God of Biafra that delivered them from the forces of darkness from the north. You were very specific, you said, from the north. And you are God, and may your name be blessed forever and ever. He said, heaven gives me a message and I give to the living. That is what I do. That is why we are unstoppable. That is why to us, jealousy, gossipy people who are insignificant and inconsequential. All they do is to promote us. That's why I notice our names are now everywhere, on everybody's lips. Everywhere you go to, that's European Nnamdi Kanu, everywhere, around the whole world, because we are unstoppable. If you have difficulties and issues with the gospel that we preach here, then you know you have a very serious problem. Because if you are an honest person, then believe you me, after tonight, if you see Nyanwodo and Ohanese, you will stone them. If you see some of the governors, you will stone them. Anybody who comes up to say to you, I am an elder, respect me, you will stone that person after tonight. That's what we're going to do. We are going to let you understand, step by step, one after the other, to understand how involved these people are in what is happening to us. And they are shameless cowards. Innocent sends me not man. That's why I'm not afraid of any man. Right now, they're taking cover in Abuja. They are frightened, they're afraid. And I'm very glad everybody is learning. Everybody is learning. You may not like the way we deliver the message, but some of you are taking for visa to go to America that colonized you, not even colony, that enslaved you for 250 years. Your sensibilities went offended. But you still for visa to go to America. If they offer you a chance now to go to, some of you are dying on your way to Europe, but you're concerned about insult than actually listening to the message. And you're struggling to go to Europe that killed millions upon millions of you, humiliated you, degraded you, shamed you, and they're still shaming you. Oh no, you're not offended, though. Because Nnamdi Kanu tells you to take a ball uncle. You're a madman, or mad woman, or mad boy, or mad girl. This is the thing I'm going to offend you even the more. So you can learn and reason. They say a clear conscience fears no accusation. If you're not daft and stupid, why should it bother you that I call some people daft and stupid? If you're not daft and stupid, have you been to my page before? My Facebook page? And see, you have seen the way they feed you, like how they will feed hyena and leopard in the wild. And you think of human beings? We are going to go to Anambra this evening. The first of all, we must begin. Bring out your pen and your paper. Bring it out wherever you've hidden them. Because this evening, we are going to delve into very difficult and complex matters that will require a modicum of common sense for you to unravel and make sense of it. Elohim is in heaven, beside him. Listen carefully. Why do we expose Ohanese and Yoshinande and his gang of thieves and traitors? As I'm speaking, I will speak very slowly, so you can note it down, you can jot it down, and make references later on. If I am wrong in my assertion, then you are justified to be as envious as you want to be, or you can gossip your life away. I think I can understand that. But if you after the reason why we are harsh on these people, the reason why we speak the way we do, unapologetically, the reason why we insult those who are deserving of it, this evening, after this program, if you say words outside, you will stone you yourself, you will stone him to death. Listen carefully, please. Your governors and some criminal elements that live in Abuja and Lagos mostly, you don't know who their father is. Can you imagine in this age when there is no war, there is no strife, no hunger, we are relatively, Biafrans are relatively the richest ethnic group, the richest race you have across Africa. We are. South Africa, we are. Can you imagine that in this day and age, people are not even sure of the paternity of their children? Countless of people that went through a war, a crushing war and famine. Can you imagine the number of illegitimate children born into Biafra with foreign blood? They are the ones you see online talking rubbish on video. In this age now, there are the issues of children that the fathers no longer know where they came from. Talk less of when we're fighting a war. Famine, hunger, poverty, disease, pestilence, everything was there. That is why this evening we're exposing our hands in Jewish land. All the saboteurs, criminals. I want to let you know they are fighting back because God promised them. If you had known that these people they love money so much, God said it. If I had known that people love money so much, I would have gone to war. I would simply share money to them to fight each other. Is that not what he's doing now? So some of it is not see. You are blind. You think if they give money to all these saboteurs, they come out and announce it. Oh, they are giving money to them, no? No. They give money to them, they give money to the media. They keep writing this junk. But you know my happiness has been on the ground? Go on the ground in Biafra land and insult IPOB. They will bury you alive. When you insult them, they will bury you there and then. We are everywhere. We have taken over everywhere. Forget all the nonsense you say from it on social media. Sponsored by this. Why they regard everything we say as an insult. Let me see if after tonight any sensible being will regard them as anything else but the treacherous fools that they are. They are treacherous. Some of you don't know what is going on. Lots of you have been following our broadcast since we started Radio Biafra in 2012. Forget the nonsense that Hotel CEO is talking about. After building hotel, if you buy it, that cement and you mold block and you build hotel, there is speaking of hotel. Once in a while, remember, I'm doing well, let me come and talk. So they will come here. Chief Executive Officer of Hotel and Hostel. So well. I want to let you know that I've been preaching this thing that you're about to hear now. These are processes that God gave me and said, speak to your people. I was talking to them very nicely, like a loving doctor and the priest mixed together. They never heard. They never listened. And after warning them for very many years, I went to the zoo in 2015. I was arrested. I came out. I went to them and I told them the same thing. And I said to them, God said I should tell you this, that this is going to happen. What did God say to me I should tell you about? They will rape your women. They will desecrate your mothers. They will take your daughters. And you know what God said? And nobody will say anything. These are my brothers. So where's the world can find it? I said it, as I'm talking to you now, I said it live on air. I said that the Fulanis are coming. I said it, they are coming. Nobody can stop them, they are coming. I had this revelation and it's not I didn't tell them. I told the governor, I told Ohanese, I told anybody who was willing to listen. That what you're seeing today now with Fulani Janjaweed, I knew it and I said it many, many years ago. Which I will never tire of reminding all of you. So if you want to know the reason why I speak to you the way I do is because of your foolishness. You were warned. You were warned many years. Every podcast, I kept telling them, do you know what's telling me tonight? And why in your wood should be stoned? Anywhere you see him outside, stone him to death. Is the plight of this woman. And I go for her daughter was abducted in their own homes by the Fulani Janjaweed. And somebody will tell me in America, it's about results. They are looking for water to give to their cattle. Can you do such rubbish? All those compromised diplomats they have, compromised criminals they send, they call them ambassadors. They bribe them to twist the truth. This woman is a shining example of how dehumanized we have become as a race. People talk about Black lives, you people are insane. This is where it's not about the Black Lives Matter. This is a level of wickedness never before. If they said to you when we were growing up that a time will come in the land of Biafra that somebody can, an outsider can come, everyone from Mauritania, come to your village, knock on the door, and beat your daughter in front of you, leaving your grandchildren with you. Will you believe it? And after seeing all these things, Wood said nothing, Obiano said nothing, none of these idiots running their useless thinking mouths said anything. And you want me to love you, protect you, say that you will die a miserable death, all of you. You are evil. You are evil. You have so much pursued money, wealth. You have forgotten who you are. You have forgotten the essence of, you have forgotten how your mother raised you. If money was everything, where would come from? How come when we were young, if you got to bring in money that your parents didn't give you, they will beat the living dead out of you? Why? If money is so important, why would your parents discipline you if they see you with the money they didn't give to you? Why? Ask yourself that question. All of you abandoned all of that nonsense. I'm an elder. You people are fools. You are there claiming your elder. Somebody came from Mali, all the way from Mali. Traveled to Anambra, from Mali, from Mauritania. Went into a home of an Igbo man, woke them up, and took their daughter and left the children of the woman. And we should cover our faces in shame because we have no shame. That is why we wake up in the morning and we're talking rubbish, because you have what she explained happened to her daughter. Then you will shed tears. You will understand the venom, the amount of hatred. You will understand the amount of anger I have in me towards her. Not even python dance. No, not python dance. No, not the python dance. This is even more worse. It's worse than that. People died, yes. And my parents died as a result, yes. These are the idiots that some spineless idiots are telling me, oh, please, in fact, you are talking of, God will punish you and insult you the more. Mad people everywhere. People are insane. Was I not talking to you gently for how many years? 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16. You can do anything. 17. From prison, I was telling you people this is what is going to happen. Now you're talking about insult. Insult globally and there are useless set of idiots everywhere. Now listen to me carefully. Why anywhere you see any idiot, any bastard, saying he or she is an elder, you have to do war. You should kill idiots, they're mad. You know what's happening in our land? Are you people aware of what is going on in our land? Are you people aware of what is happening? Are you sure you know? No, you don't. Because if you know, if you see them, you will strangle them. Let us hear this woman and her plight. Listen. What's her name? What happened? What happened? Break up. Somebody came to our house. Listen them. Try to think. Took my daughter away. Gave them all the money I had. They took my daughter and left my grandchildren with me. I have not seen my daughter till today. And I'm going to call the woman now to see if I can get hold of her. The FX group, the FX don't apply all of you and your FX. Take it, you are evil. And God will destroy all of you. God, those of you who are talking rubbish, and this is where you come from. Do we look like any other useless, stupid race? Is that what you think? That you can get away with all this nonsense? Have you not seen how your land is? Have you not seen the mess they're in? You want to bring that mess into the holy land of God. It can never work. Never work. I'm going to call the woman so I can hear from her. This is what happened, and you're telling me that the place that it is now, the place that it is. I am calling them to see if I can get hold of them this evening. That the world may hear your shame. All of you in this YouTube, talking about respect, which useless, which elder is that? This is Radio Biafra, we are live, the world is listening. I am Nnamdi Kanu. Am I speaking to the woman that the daughter was abducted in front of her? Can you hear me? The person I'm calling on the phone, can you hear me? Oh my goodness, what kind of people are this? Can you hear me? Bring her to the phone. Bring her to the phone. I want her to raise her voice up. Raise her voice at the world may hear. Because everybody is listening. U.S. government are listening. British EU, everybody is listening. That the world may know what is going on in our land. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Somebody, who are you with this woman? Why can't you hear me? I thought these are media people. Can you hear me? I can't hear anything. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What kind of is that? Can you hear me? I don't believe this. We are going to keep trying. Can you somebody pick up the phone from there and insert it for me? If you cannot speak, can't you talk? Huh? I can hear your voice. It's not any network. Speak to me. What is this? Is she there? I don't believe this. What sort of man is that? Can you hear me? It's good that I want to talk to you. Can you hear me? You're talking now. Can you hear me? You that is talking now. Can you hear me? Oh, goodness. When next they want to send people on this type of errand, you send people with common sense. I don't know where they got this people from. I don't know where they got them from. I will keep trying. I will play the woman's voice again so you can hear. I will keep trying until we get hold of her. I don't know the sort of people that they send. I am in the disgrace. The whole of our number, there is no media person who send, they can send to this woman. It's people who cannot listen very well, they send to her. What sort of people are these? What sort of people are these? I want the world to hear the voice of the woman that her daughter was taken. Unbelievable. I don't know this sort of human beings. I don't know. Let us continue. Let me play her voice again for you. And hopefully, of course, they will be able to pick up the phone. Hopefully, they will be able to pick up the phone. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me for goodness sake? Can you hear me? Unbelievable. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely. Now, the time the line connected, to get somebody to interpret became a problem. I don't know. Let us play the woman's voice until they are ready. Or maybe she can record something and send to me. Perhaps. What's your name? What happened? Speak up! Oh my goodness. Somebody come in and knock down the door. She's trying her hands now. Where they got her? Where they hit her? I am alone. Yes. So what have we done with? I have not seen my daughter. young girl of 22 abducted by Fulani terrorists and kidnappers and rapists in Anambra State. Took all the money, took this girl like Leah Swahili or whatever it is called, never to be seen again. It's over. And you're telling me to have respect for Hanese and for governors, to work with them. Have you seen the handiwork? Have you all seen and heard what I've been doing in our place? Can you all see it now? Is anybody in doubt anymore? Is anybody in doubt as to how treacherous they are? How do you see how evil they are? Oh, Hanese and your so-called governors, do you see how evil they are? And all these idiots with their file, someone everywhere, doing video messaging, how do you see what they are doing to distract you? And they're distracting you, talking about it. Oh, no respect for elders, this and that. You cannot get Biafra by cursing people. Meanwhile, their masters are busy abducting our children. Our daughters. They left the grandchild with the woman, took our daughter away. In the olden days, by now, believe you me, every struggle will be done in our land. But you are busy. You are busy gossiping. Now the question is, have you heard from Obiano? This is how we number, you know. How about Hanese one? No. What then is your job? Have you heard? We need to synergize. We need to strategize. And they are taking your daughters away from before your eyes. Before your eyes, they are taking your children away. Did you stop them? No, not at all. There's another one. Please post this video. There is another one. I want you to post this very video. To post this very video. Very, very critical, please. Very, very. I will even try and see if I can get them on a direct line. I must speak to these people today. I have to speak to them. I must speak to them to see if, because it is absolutely critical that I get them. That you hear the voice of this very woman. That you hear her voice. Because what is happening in our land is beyond abomination. Beyond abomination. Let me try and see if I can get them on a direct call. Because I was trying to get one of them by WhatsApp. I'll call them direct to see if they will pick up the phone. Let's see if they will. So let's see. I want to see if they will pick up the phone. No, absolutely not. They cannot. I must try and interview this woman actually. I'll interview her live, maybe on Zoom or something. I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe around Wednesday I'll do Zoom. I'll push through my face on Wednesday and I'll interview her live on Zoom. We'll bring her somewhere where the network is better. Do you know what the problem is? In the Solomon Brown, they have kidnapped a girl in front of her mom, left her kids, so those kids will not be asking their grandma, where is mommy? They're saying, where is mommy? And then the grandma will tell the kids that Fulani came here and took your mother. Can you please such rubbish? Honestly, we don't have any shame. If we have shame, nobody will come out and tell us, I'm an evil man, I'm a Japan. You shame won't allow you to. Your daughter, and I said it many years ago, they will come, they will take our children, and there will be nobody to raise the finger. Where is the Hanese? If you were writing in this place, press statement saying they're going to court. And you are telling me, you need to respect them. Are you not an idiot? Are you not a fool? Do you think we are foolish about some of you are? Look how big it is. Now, another video I want to. I posted the pictures before. Listen carefully. Listen. Then don't mind it. Now they know. Do you understand it? Only in Anambra. A girl cut into pieces. Not the one that doctor don't know, that one is separate. The same Anambra. And people are and make money. And from Anambra, we have this album. That, do you know that because of these two incidents alone, because we are no longer in the spirit, do you know because of these two incidents, do you know that because of that, the wrath of God can descend on our land and destroy everybody? So where is the governor? First, we look at him. This is the man that called Operation Python down to the killing of our people. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know which other language I can use so that people can appreciate the level of mess we are in. Some of you don't understand it. You people are like physical zoo animals. You don't reason. You don't know the mess you're in. That people can come to your land, take your daughter. Those that they cannot take, they butcher them. They find their bodies. They cut off the right leg, cut off the left leg, cut off the head, cut off the two arms. Oh my shit. And you know what? Hey, God forbid. Because we have no shame. There is no shame. That one is another video. Post it on my page. I want the world to see it. So that when we are going crazy, we are going mad, we speak the way it is so you can understand why. Because it is not your daughter who was abducted. Because it's not your child who is being butchered inside our farmlands in Uli. Because they're not yours. And because you know they killed the little George Floyd. And I wish that I say to American policemen, these are the people you should be killing. Not black Americans. These are the Africans in America. Go and kill them. They are evil. Because it's not your daughter that's been butchered in the farm. That is when you feel nothing. Do you see why I speak to you the way I do? Because you have no compassion, you have no empathy, you have no sympathy, you have no concern for the plight of other people. And therefore, before me, never. That's why I speak to you the way I do. That is why. Please, there's another video. It's endless. This life is endless. So the world can see it. Because when you write to the British, it's a farmer header class. Farmers are looking for water to give to their cattle, and they clash. Farmer header class, and you cut off a gear into 5-6 places. Farmer header class. Farmer header class, you went into a woman's house and took her dog. Farmer header class. Do you see how people you call ambassadors, how satanic they are? Do you see what Trump is fighting in America? Some of you are so blind. You don't know what Trump is doing. Some of you are so blind. Trump is one man standing a whole world of darkness. If you don't know, let me tell you. See what is happening. In that same zoo, Nigeria, the American ambassador is there. The British, we preach how civilized they are, how we should be civilized. In broad daylight, you see foreign diplomats covering up for Yala. Why? Because they have stuffed them with money. It's only in Nigeria I knew that even diplomats take bribe. Only in Nigeria. That is why when I don't want Nigeria to break. I don't want it to break. So don't break Nigeria. Because they know what they are getting. That is why somebody will go to somebody's home and kill the person. Go and start a village. When the diplomats will be filing his or her report, they will say, there were a few flight incidents. A human being. Simple is only in the zoo, Nigeria, that I have seen that a diplomat can stand up and lie. Exactly. It's them. And as I told you, I was in America and I told them in the US. On Capitol Hill, I told them your diplomats are corrupt in Nigeria. The American ambassador is corrupt in Nigeria. The US ambassador is corrupt. Corruption in Nigeria. What? She is corrupt. The UK is the worst of them all. They are playing ping pong with your heads because you are black nigger. You know nothing. Your brains are empty. That's why when they are playing with you, you don't know. But we do. We do. Please post that video. It's a funny attack along Abuja Enugu Expressway. I just want to let the world understand. Only Enugu and Anambra only. I don't want to go too far. Post that video for the world to see. Post it, let the world see. And then I will then come to Anambra. To let you see the abomination that some people are defending. I don't know the type of God that made black people. I don't know. No concept, no morality, nothing. Just pure evil. Evil. And their name is darkness and absurdity. Nigeria, that's all they are. Darkness has taken over. Darkness has taken over in our land. I'm saying the truth. That men can no longer speak the truth. When they say the truth, they embellish it. But God be nice. How can I be nice to you when you are the embodiment of evil? You say evil and you condone it. You want me to be nice to you? Are you insane? Are you insane? Let me play for you. The governor of Anambra said to William Obiano, I want to play for you what his response to all the killings. That was, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. And they're killing people now, you can no longer speak. How can people, you claim they're elite, they are learned, and they are governors. You know what they have done? They went to Anambra, they promised Obiano, vice president. They went. They said, you are a good man. VP for you, VP. They went to engineer, you're doing well, VP, you get the VP. We put you there, you are our boy. You put you there. So do the job for Hallelujah. We still can give you VP. The same one single position, they have promised everybody VP. And now, it is now left for you to go and prove that you are worthy to be trusted with that position. And how are you going to do it? By giving our land to Fulani terrorists. So that when Fulani kills our people, you turn a blind eye. Let me play for you what Obiano said. He's been everywhere. But because we don't reason very well, we are not analytical. Because let's be honest about it, if I had liked to be analytical, we would have gone to the moon by now. There will be running water, there will be good roads and good schools and good hospitals. That's the fact of life. Because the same university that the Prime Minister of Japan went to is where some of these morons went. It's not school. So how come all these cities are doing well, but not in the zoo? Because we are filled with evil. Until a black man acknowledges that there is a type of wickedness in him or her, there's no progress. I'm being honest with you. Forget all this nonsense, there's no progress. Because a black man is wicked. It's wickedness and evil. Let us say a governor. It is called elite. The government are not seen with them. They are not part of what they're doing. I want you to play what the governor opened his mouth to say. You go different because it's a promise to vice presidential slots. Listen carefully, please. Where they are. Listen. If you destroy any farm, see whether that government. Yes. And this is not their cow. You pay. If you kill for any cow, you pay. If you destroy your crops, you have been such rubbish before. From the governor of the state. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's listen to him. Listen carefully. I don't have community for students. Yeah. If they destroy your farm, they will pay you. And they may have me. One reason, somebody died. It's a police father was his farm. Now you kill anybody in Anambra State as a Fulani man, all the APR has to pay is 500,000 on a life. I come from a culture that we name our children Wakeko. Do you know that when we were growing up, we were told that you cannot place any price on the life of anybody. You don't dare do it. It's a sacrilege. Here you have somebody who claims he's the son of the soil, a governor of the state, saying that if you kill a Biafran in the land that God gave to our ancestors, all you need to pay is $1,200 for a life. And you want me to respect him? Can you ask me to respect? Can you begin to see your own stupidness and stupidity? These are people who want me to respect with my education. Somebody who reasons this way, you want me to respect. Are you drunk? Let's listen to him. And during this program, this evening, we share all of you idol gossipers to put it to shame that what we are doing is right. This is a governor who should be concerned about the welfare of his people. If you kill anybody, I can go to another and kill somebody, and I will wear the Yama. I will learn how to speak Fufude, or maybe Fufude. I can kill anybody I can kill my enemy in Anambra now. I can kill them. I will wear the Yama, that I will use stick to carry the use to drive cattle from place to place. And I will pay you $1,200. And that's it. That's the end of you. You're gone. $1,200. And your own is finished. $1,200 per life in Anambra State. And you want me to respect them. And our manager in that room is here. So like with the FX group, when I look at those idiots, both the useless tsunamis and I drunk, I get irritated. FX, let us have the FX statement from FX governor of Anambra State. Let's get, because even the FX, they are people. Have you ever wondered why there are killing people that Nia Wood cannot speak on it? Come out live and address people. He can never do it. Money in their accounts when the war ended. What is a traitor? Anybody who doesn't know, you are either deceiving yourself or you're a criminal. You fund them to the fact of life. Fact of life. Oh, they think because they have served the Fulani. Fulani give them money. They think this ICOB will gas up Fulani. You are insane. You can't do that. You know we can do it. We are better than them in billion times over. We can never. You know that very well. You can go and serve them because you want money. You want to be the only cock going in your village. You want to understand with people now, blue guy, who think as you say where we come from. Me and Alhaji are friends. So in the olden days, if you say Alhaji is your friend, people will see you as a nobody. You are nothing. Listen to what you are now, Governor of Anambra State. If the people is still want to pay $500,000. So we're going to this very well. I need to helicopter every 2 weeks to fly around. We fly around, then there are vessels of cows or anything. Then we send the Indiana, who is my staff. The Indiana is the government of Anambra State. Officially, the fourth most deadly terrorist group in the world. But I know that unofficially that the number 2 now is part of the government of Anambra State. Not IPOBO. Nobody after IPOB killed anybody, none. No guns, no weapons. We are fighting to save these people. But he went and brought in, as part of the deal for the rigging of the election in 2017, he went and brought Mietiala, a band of killers as part of his government. So there is no longer any secret in Anambra State government house because everything the candidate will be getting is direct. You have to go to the meeting now. Is it not one of the inner function in Anambra State government? Do you want to respect them? You still want me to respect the governors and their manager? I thought you guys should respect them before. Now, do you see why I don't respect them? A life is $1,200 in Anambra. You can kill $1,200 and you win. And you want respect. You're happy. Madness everywhere. Let me have a sip of water. Then we proceed. The question then is, the body part of the young lady that was raped, tortured, dismembered, and scattered around the farmland in Uri. What did Ohaneze say? Because Ohaneze is meant to be for every port of Ohaneze and the Bonin across the 9 states. No, in fact, 11 states. What am I talking about again? We have, listen carefully please, I don't want to get it wrong. We have Igbo people that Ohaneze should be representing in Benue. We have Igbo people in Kogi. We have Igbo people in Cross River. We have Igbo people in Akwa Ibom. We have Igbo people in the rivers. We have Igbo people in the 5 so-called Southeast states. We have Igbo people in Delta. We have Igbo people in Edo. Is that correct? Have I said one? Now you have Igbo people in 5, Southeast states, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What is Edo? 12. Is that not it? 18. We have Igbo people in the 6 so-called South states. In every state, we also have Igbo people in Benue and in Kogi, plus the 5 strong southeastern states. Making how many states? So here's what is 11, 12, 13 states in total. Ohaneze should be speaking for all of them. Is that not correct? Now, somebody died in Anambra State, in the same place, not died, was killed in Anambra State, the same place that Nyawodo came to, and said, I countermand what Nnamdi Kanu said about the election boycott. I said, let's go. They said, no, don't boycott. In 2017, that they will vote. They said, our governor will try and vote somebody in. They voted. The person you voted in, did Ohaneze say anything about the woman that this is our population in our land? No, nobody said a word. Did the governor say anything? Nothing. And which state did it happen in? Anambra. Where are those responsible for this crime, crime? They are working. In fact, they are killing, they are being emboldened. The army barracks is there in Onitsha to protect them. Every police command is under instruction to provide help and support to the Chanchan that the march down south. Why are the police and the Igbo prosecutors that will charge money from IPOB, they see you as IPOB, they lock you up, just like that? Or they are ready to kill you, as they're doing in Delta State. They arrest you and they kill you. How about the friends that are doing the killing? No, they are doing different police escort and police support. Why is Ohaneze silent? There are killings. In fact, they publish all the headlines in bursts of form, so the world can see. The way the men in our land that some idiots are concerned, it's so beef on cows. That's the same drama, on cows. It's all this language. Your daughters are being taken in front of your eyes. Which insult is better than that one? Why are the police and the Igbo prosecutors more interested? Why was it that Ohaneze was more interested in the prosecution of IPOB, in the leveling of IPOB and the terrorist group, rather than arresting those who are killing, abducting, dismembering, and desecrating our land? Where is Pandef? All the killings in Akwa Ibom. Have they said any word? Because this one, they know. The British taught them very well. The British experimented with wild chiefs and it worked. That is exactly the same template that plan is operating. They come, they intimidate, they blackmail you into allowing them to install whoever they like Otu Barema in Igbo. They find whatever idiot they like, who will now do their bidding. We go to the north, we go and develop Sabongeri, we build places, we live in the townships. They come to our land in our forests. And we have intellectuals. We have professors. You see, red, blue, and black pen on the in the front pocket of the shirt. Professional position, writing rubbish. No shame. They are from Anambra, some of them, but no shame, no shame. Total rubbish. Your daughters are being abducted. Your daughters are being raped and cut into pieces. No shame whatsoever. None to be writing junk. It insults people. I don't like the way it insults people. And you went to school. We need to chronicle this. Look at the woman that the daughter was abducted. Did the village vigilante do anything? No, there wasn't for IPOB. Don't give anything to IPOB. Please, the journalist of the village vigilante. But the vigilante was there in Uli. Where the jail was butchered. Did they do anything? No. Vigilante was in me. Did they do anything? And the jail was being abducted? No. Because some of you don't know that your so-called vigilante, the supervision of the community PG, President General, who in turn is an agent of, is a land agent for Mietiala. So any money you give, any support you give to local vigilante in your village, hoping it will go towards protecting your village, is going towards doing the building of Mietiala, the fourth most deadly terrorist group in the world. Now, after that, you want me to respect you. After exhibiting such stupidity, you think I will respect you? I think you are drunk. You are not drunk. You are very, very drunk. Look at the woman whose daughter was abducted. Did the village vigilante do anything? No. This was exactly the nonsense we did when the British came, why we couldn't defend our land, and our land fell to the British. And the school collapsed in 1904. Because the resistance was not organized properly. I'm autonomous. Let me do my own in my village. And as they overran one village, clan after clan, community after community, they were going up to the two of us. The same old garbage, the same old nonsense. Go to your village and defend yourself in your village with what? The people invading you, they are organized. They planned this thing for nearly 50 years. They have over $30 billion to back them up. They have the army, they have the police, they have the air force, they have everything. They have the Yoruba guys to count upon. You have nothing. And I think that they'll go to your village and organize vigilante. Look.